Jim Schultz here for Calculated Risk, and don't forget, before we get started, the best ways that you can help us are by liking the video or subscribing to the channel. Either one of those guys really helps us out a lot. Alright, so earnings season is here, and we all know what that means. Everybody wants in on the action. We're like, you want to get going, I want to get going, we want to trade our favorite stocks, we want to get in on the big names, use our favorite strategies, take our directional shots, and what have you. But we all know that earnings, man, it can go either direction. I mean, these events are binary in nature for a reason. There is most likely going to be a very explosive move in the stock one way or the other. And so when it comes to earnings specifically, a lot of times using a strategy that is defined risk is going to make a lot of sense. I mean, hey, you guys know, if you follow me for any length of time, you know that I don't love defined risk strategies. You know that I think there's a lot more opportunity with undefined risk strategies. But still, we have to be aware of kind of the potential quagmire that we're walking into. And so around earnings, I definitely have a greater love, at least a greater like, for defined risk strategies. So today, I want to walk through my all-time favorite defined risk strategy for earnings, the expected move butterfly. So most of the time as premium sellers, like we're trading time and we're trading volatility, right? We're selling premium, we're playing time passing, we've got the positive theta, we've got the time decay, we've got all those things working for us. Okay, that's great. We're also trading volatility. We're trading volatility's natural tendency to contract. We're trading volatility's natural kind of grind lower over time. And so these two things are non-directional in nature, and that's typically what we're hanging our hat on as a premium seller. Okay. But every once in a while, we might want to trade direction. Like every once in a while, we might want to take a bullish shot. Every once in a while, we might want to take a bearish shot. And around earnings, one of the metrics that can be really nice to kind of have an objective view of the analysis around that stock or the market at that given time or what have you is the expected move for that cycle. So looking at the expected move, using the expected move for that cycle in that stock can really give you an unbiased look at what the market is pricing in for the upside or the downside. And the really cool thing is we can use the expected move alongside the expected move butterfly to set up a really nice directional shot that's relatively cheap to play earnings and play it to the upside or the downside however we see fit. So let's hop into Tasty Trade now and let's set one of these guys up. All right, so I'm inside of my Tasty Trade platform and I picked a real doozy of a time to do an expected move butterfly around earnings because it's not really earnings season right now. And so if you go to like the Tasty default watch list, I mean, you can look at the all earnings. I was looking at this before the video, and it's like, man, we've got Len. Like Len has earnings today. Never heard of them. Right? We've got Adobe coming up maybe later today or this morning. I guess we could potentially trade Adobe. But you've got Kroger next week and JBL on ACN, and it's like, okay, this is not exactly the season for the heavy hitters. Like if I go into the Tasty default watch list and I sort by earnings just by clicking on the earnings column, you're going to see that, I mean, there aren't really any decent ones coming up that we like to trade on a regular basis until later on in July. And so really, this isn't the best possible time to do a video like this, but we are so far into it now, we can't turn back. So we're going to go ahead and still use the same basic principles of trading an expected move butterfly like in the front week around a binary event. And so that way you are ready come time July when there are more earnings opportunities. Okay, so let's use Google for the purposes of this example. Now, I may not have done a good job from a calendar standpoint in terms of the best possible time to do a video like this. However, it is a Thursday. So today is a Thursday, and oftentimes using an expected move butterfly, I'm looking to set that guy up in the front week, so using that Friday's expiration. And the reality is this: Thursday into Friday butterflies are really, really nice because with a butterfly, you want to nail the direction of move close to expiration. That's going to allow you to achieve the most profitability out of the strategy. And so by choosing an expected move butterfly on Thursday going into Friday, if you do get the move that you want, you're going to be in a situation to potentially make a decent amount of money in a pretty short amount of time on that following day's opening bell. Whereas if you did a butterfly, the previous week or even like a Monday or a Tuesday going into Friday, it's a little bit more challenging to make significant profits on the strategy because with a butterfly, you want all the extrinsic value to come out of the options. You want all the extrinsic value to drain out of the options, and butterflies oftentimes cling to their extrinsic value until the very end. And so Thursday into Friday butterflies, Wednesday into Friday butterflies using the front week are going to be my favorites. Monday into Friday and Tuesday into Friday, I'll still do them because they do give you more opportunities to make money, but you're not likely going to make that much money. Okay, so if we pretended that Google had earnings tonight, let's say, and I wanted to set up a butterfly to take advantage of that, then what I might do is, let's say I wanted to play Google to the downside. So a lot of times the way that I'm going to set up my butterfly is I want to situate my strike right around where the expected move cuts off. So this copper strip is the expected move for this cycle. So it's only a 1-day cycle. The expected move obviously is only plus or minus about $5. And so if I bought a 345 and I sold a 340 and I went ahead and bought a 335 because the butterfly has to be a 1 by 2 by 1. So I go back into the center and I double that guy up. And you can see that is a very, very cheap way to take a directional shot, right? I'm only paying 90 or 91 cents for a $5 wide butterfly. And so again, very cheap way, take your directional shot. If you miss and if you're wrong, and in this case, if Google rallies, then you're only going to lose what you paid. Like you're not going to lose any more than the debit that you paid. And if we were to set this guy up on the call side, you're going to see a very, very similar setup. If I buy a 345, I sell a 350, I buy a 355, I double up on the 350. Again, it's 95 cents. It's basically a symmetric market right now with Google being right around 345. And so with us kind of starting at that 345 market, we essentially have the same pricing on both sides of the market. So whether you want to play it down or up, it's effectively going to be the same risk in both trades and the same risk return dynamic. And generally speaking, what I want to do here is I want to size my butterfly such that it fits with my position sizing parameters, right? Remember, with defined risk, we want to be typically 1 to 3% of our account. Now, in this account that I'm trading here, the From Theory to Practice account, this is about a $35,000 account. So this is a very small position relative to my account size. I could easily go up a few more dollars, no problem. But generally speaking, somewhere between 1 to 3%. If you want to live on the lower end, you want to live on the higher end, that's completely up to you, of course. But generally speaking, that's going to be a pretty good range where we can live. Now, the wider you make your butterfly, the easier it's going to be to make money. That is just the truth. But of course, we've heard it before, and here it is again. For every gimme, there's got to be a gotcha. And so if I'm going to widen out my butterfly, then I'm going to have to pay more for that additional width. So for example, if I just stay on the call side here, just to make this a bit simpler, let's say I move my 345 strike down to 342.5, and I move my 355 strike up to 357.5. Look at what happens with to the debit that I pay. It's gone up to $2.32. But now I have a lot more money that I could potentially make. Now my maximum profit is over $500, whereas before it was only about $400. My probability is higher than it was previously because, again, the market understands and the metrics understand that this is going to be an easier trade to manage if it moves in my favor. If you have a super tight butterfly like $1 wide or $2 wide, like, yes, it's going to be dirt cheap. Like, yes, it's not going to cost you anything. Like, you're literally not even going to know that it's gone if you lose it. The problem is those are very, very hard to manage. Those are very difficult to manage. You have to thread that needle. You have to get the perfect price at the perfect time. And so I much prefer to widen out my butterflies to give them kind of more room to breathe. So I would probably settle on this butterfly. Whether it's to the upside or the downside doesn't really matter. It depends on, the directional bias that I might have. But this is going to make a little bit more sense. Give me a little bit more kind of meat on the bone when it comes to, the risk-return dynamics. Give it a bit more economic significance. And so when you're setting up your butterfly, your expected move butterfly, I should say, pin the expected move with your short strike, and then choose the width of the butterfly relative to your position sizing parameters in your account. And again, this is a great strategy for a binary event like an earnings release. So there you go. That is an expected move butterfly. Now, again, it's not technically around an earnings event because I couldn't really find one today, at least in terms of a stock that we all know and trade and are familiar with. And so save this in your repertoire for when earnings season comes around in just a couple of weeks. And so you will be ready to go because we want to hang our hat as premium sellers on time and volatility. But still, from time to time, taking a directional shot, it's fun. It's fun, it's part of the game, and you might even make a little bit of money. And now you have a really, really cheap way to do that, relatively speaking, with the expected move butterfly. And I'll see you guys next time.